Let's go.
Welcome to a special edition of Chatterbox Reds as we get started here in the bottom of the 8th inning as Spencer Steer comes up with a chance at doing something we haven't seen since Scooter Gennett here in his fourth at bat in the ballgame.
Come on, Spence. Get into one,
Just
baby.
let a real good pitch go by.
Oh, breaking ball towards the top of the zone.
We're at 0-2. They call that a ball?
They must have.
Either that or Valley Sports or FanDuel's got a little wrong.
Right. I was looking to see if they give any hand signals, but they didn't.
All right.
Oh, off his foot.
All right.
Did you guys see the Austin Hayes foul off the foot last inning?
Yes.
He took one off the face in the first inning. He bounced one off his nose in the first. I'm like, good Lord, man. This guy can't catch a break.
He takes that one off the foot, looks right at the dugout. He's like, I'm good.
All right.
Just some context here.
Yeah, go for it, Mike.
Hey, we've got Steer's chance for 4 home runs and Nick Martinez with a chance for a no-hitter in the 9th. Man, boy, is it a special night to be a Reds fan.
What a special night, boys.
Oh, man.
Come on, Spence.
All right.
I've been in the ballpark for a lot of cool moments. I was there for LA Cycle and stuff like that. I was in there for this one tonight and took off a touch early to try to get home for this. So I'm really excited to see what this could become. My boys are still in the ballpark tonight with their mom, so I'm hoping they get a chance to see something special. It's be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, come on, baby, come on. All right, stay in the
All
line.
right, yanking off.
Hang.
Let's go. He's not going for a base hit here. This ain't put it in play, Spencer.
And chat, no offense, but we've got you closed. We're not watching this. You guys are ahead of us.
We're trying to get our reaction live here, baby.
Yeah, we're not watching you right now.
Come on,
Spencer. If anybody asked how the hell do you leave that baseball game, I had a plan. Nick Martinez had a plan, and so did Spencer Steer. We're all
I guess so.
We're all working the plan today, baby. Come on, Spence.
Oh,
just missed it. Just off of it. It's all right.
3 out of 4 ain't bad, or whatever Meatloaf said.
Yeah. He's got it.
I like this standing ovation he's getting too.
Hell yes.
Yeah. Oh, he's earned every bit of that one.
He might have just pulled his back hip muscle there going after that ball. Oh,
can't blame the guy for trying.
Oh, the guys on the radio were talking about how nobody wants to talk to Nick Martinez in the dugout. He's pacing back and forth, just looking for somebody to talk to, and there ain't nobody giving him shit.
Yeah, they definitely brought it up on the TV broadcast. You can just see him. They said he's got about 15,000 steps in tonight.
On an off note, while we've got a little bit of time to kill, as our Red Legs are up 8-0 in the bottom of the 8th, we got Will Benson up with 1 out, and we're all looking forward here to the top of the 9th. There's a guy in section 138 tonight that got on a heater like I've never seen. He was betting first pitch balls and strikes, and he probably hit 7 in a row. And after I left, my wife sent me a text message and said that guy that won all those bets just caught a foul ball.
Wow.
You want to talk about on a yes?
Something's in the air tonight. Old boy's going to see a 3-run home.
It is a special night, boys.
Yeah, it is. There is something in the air in section 138 tonight, not at the ballpark.
No doubt. Nick Martinez is about to put the icing on the cake for that one.
Let's do it, baby. Oh, man.
Come on,
Benson's had a decent night, too, man. Defensively, he's tracking down 2 big balls in the outfield. He's really been a big contributor to this. Hit a ball really hard up through the middle. I think scored a run early. I mean, Steer obviously clears the bases, but Ellie's had a good night. Matt McClain's had a good night at the plate. Austin Hayes with a double. Welcome back. Will Benson hits the ball hard. Like, really up and down the lineup. It's been awesome.
Yeah, top of the lineup looked great tonight.
Although they are making it easy on Nick Martinez because is that because I think in the 6th they struck out the side. I want to say that did they strike out all 3 times last? The first 2.
No,
they had struck out 5 in a row.
Stevenson grounded out. Remember, he got whacked on the head for the high throw.
Yeah, that's 7 out of the last 8 have been strikeouts.
I was paying attention though at like 1, 2, 3 because we were talking beforehand. It's like, all right, if everyone goes 1, 2, 3, then Steer leads off the 8th.
Yeah.
And that was what I was
getting home as Stevenson was getting tagged. That was my break from the car radio to down here real quick.
All right on.
We also get to see Velati out in left field. Our first. He already made a play.
Do you imagine he's the one that catches this last ball?
Oh.
I'd be all right with it. Just catch it.
In the history books, he's going to be the one. He's going to be the Todd Benzinger. He's foul territory for the 90 series.
Shoot.
I think Tito's leaving him in. I can't imagine.
Oh, he's got
pulling
to
him
at
here.
104 or
Yeah.
105.
Yeah.
I mean, now if anybody reaches,
Now, yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he has any leash.
I don't
Yep.
no walks either. I think even
Yeah.
with a walk, he's going.
The moment. Oh, really? You think no hitter intact? Do you think he's still in?
No hitter, yeah, because if you're walking somebody, you're probably getting to 125, 130, and then you're in dangerous territory.
He's already. Yeah, I mean, he's already like hit. Let's see.
Oh,
you're not getting more than. I don't think you're getting more than 120 here.
Yeah, because I know that.
Here's the bigger question: Who's your arm? Who's next?
Who's pitching? Who's coming in? You mean?
Who's your first guy? Who do you put this on the shoulders of?
Oh, if they walk him in, it's still a no hitter. I see. Yes. I was like, I don't care if he gives up a hit. I don't care. You know.
Oh yeah, I hope it's Taylor Rogers if he gives up a hit.
Yeah, Connor Phillips, Right. I don't care. But if he comes out and gets a
no hitter still intact, Lion.
Are they going to stay? Maybe? They're going to stay.
They are going to stay.
They are going to stay.
That's
awesome.
Go.
Let's go. I like this.
Come on, baby. Come on.
105. Come on, Nick. Let's cap off a freaking perfect night.
Come on.
Friday, June 27th of 2025, we've got Nick Martinez taking the bump in the top of the ninth inning with the Red Legs up 8-0. We're going to see if we can get something closed out here. A really special night for a guy that's given you absolutely everything, not just tonight, but all week. Decides to throw 2 bullpen sessions on the side, and goes ahead and takes those in game because he knows the bullpen's in a spot because he started. This is a dude that went 2 2/3 in his last time out. So for him to turn around and put out a performance like this, it's just you can't tip your cap enough. This is one of the gutsiest, most deserving, and just it's impossible not to root for this dude tonight.
He's done everything for this baseball team except for get a base hit. I mean, that's about the only thing he hasn't done, man. It's whatever this team's needed. He's kind of been our Brent Suter of the starting rotation.
So it looks like Elias Diaz actually came in for Maldonado, so he's going to be facing somebody for the first time in here.
All right.
So it's Trent Brooks, their DH, and then Elias Diaz, who I don't know where he sits on him, but I feel like that's almost better if you've only you're facing him for the first time. You know what I'm saying?
Rather than a third time around. Yeah.
And then
are those lefties or righties?
Both righties, I believe.
I know Arias is lefty.
Yeah. Let me double check. Diaz is right-handed. And Trenton Brooks is we're about to see on the screen what he is. He's left-handed.
Everybody exactly the way it should be.
Come on, man.
Nicky. Come on, Nick.
Juice in there. So we go lefty.
So we think he's got basically anybody gets on, even if it's a walk.
He might get a walk and one more batter. He might get a chance to erase it with a double play, but he's not getting above 120. I think is probably your cutoff.
All right.
I kind of like that, but
for people following along, it is now 1-1. We just saw the 1-1 pitch, ball 1.
107 pitches on the evening for Nick Martinez.
So we're
on
a night
behind. When it was pretty warm, but it actually cooled off after a torrential downpour there to start things.
Really?
Oh man, it was a golly washer right before it delayed first pitch by 12 minutes. Yeah. It was gnarly.
Guys, we need likes. Nick Martinez needs your like right now.
Likes for strikes, baby. Let's go.
Nick Martinez needs you. Let's carry him home. Oh, 3-1. Oh, boy.
Come on.
Just 3-1. He goes with a 2-1 changeup there.
Just come get it.
Curious to see his velocity.
He's been throwing. I was looking at his split. He's thrown almost like the majority pitch has been changeup tonight.
Good pitch. Give it to him.
How do you not give
it to him? Come on, Blue. Know the moment.
Let's go.
He's going to get a chance.
Tito's leaving him. Oh, come on.
You got to be kidding.
And so that's going to bring Nick Martinez to the stretch for the first time since a first inning walk to Jackson Merrill with 2 outs.
Yeah, that 2-out walk in the first.
He's not had pressure at all tonight. 1, he's got an 8-run lead. 2, he's been unbelievable, and he's been dealing. He had retired. What is that?
Like a pitch.
26 in a row up to that, or 25 in a row up to that point.
Right.
Yeah. Nick Martinez has his highest percentage pitch is the changeup.
Good for him.
Going to it a lot.
32. Yeah, 32.
Uh-oh.
Come on, Vlade. Come on.
There it went.
That's all right.
There it went.
You know what, dude? It's an 8-2 ball game.
All
it's
right.
still a fantastic night in the Metropolis.
Go get him.
We're going to settle in.
It's 8-0.
Go
They
get
haven't
him.
scored yet. Where we
Give
go?
this dude his flower. This is an
Right.
unbelievable evening.
Yes, he deserves every bit
Yes,
of flowers
sir.
he gets. Yep. I kind of like that he gets to walk off the mound here. Come
I
on,
do
boys.
too. I dig the curtain call moment.
Yep.
That ball almost left for 8-2.
You
We may be taking a look at that one. His arm's going to be hanging.
Ah,
He knew it too.
yeah, he did.
Valade was going to need a rocket up his butt to catch that one.
Yeah.
And he goes to cover home. He knows the situation. Moment's not too big for him. Good for him. So runners on second, third, nobody out. Your Red Legs are up 8-0. You want to see us really melt down? Watch this thing disappear.
Yeah.
Taylor Rogers.
There comes Taylor Rogers. He's the only one warming up now.
He's the freshest arm you've got.
No, absolutely.
It's kind of crazy. Both teams had an off day yesterday, and then the day
Interesting.
before for the Pods, they only had 2 guys go, and both of them were under 15 pitches. So both bullpens should be in a really good spot coming into this series, and their bullpen is nasty. They're top 5 in baseball.
Their closer was out today too.
Yeah, it would have been nice to make it close to make that hurt a little bit.
Take
but it's
advantage
all
of
right.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind this spread to make it not hurt so much.
That boy, Nick Martinez. What a night, man.
What
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
And kudos to the
All
defense
right.
and those guys as well. I mean, Ellie made plays, Matt made plays, Will Benson made plays.
Our guys were behind them all
Espinal, Spencer Steer made a really nice diving stop at first base.
Absolutely.
Just a really good team effort and something
All
you can
right.
really get behind.
Let's buckle down and give him no earned runs. How about
Yeah,
that?
let's keep the shutout going here.
Yeah.
Let's keep the shutout going. And I mean,
This is
and that
where
make- but
the
that makes
extra
it-
inning game got away from me the other day with not writing down my notes. If this ends up runs and the rundown comes on the other side, and I mess
Nah,
up.
you're
That's-
just feeling
that's
like, and they
that's
scored a
my
couple
bad.
runs in the
Yeah.
ninth,
Right.
and we won.
So
They
be it.
gotta-
Right? Yeah, exactly.
He didn't get his no hitter, and that's all you need to know. The Reds win 8-2.
Right. So what's that make it? 9 or 10 straight innings without giving up a run for Nick Martinez because he had two perfect outings in relief.
Yeah,
Three
so
in-
and he
three
went
in
2
relief.
innings for he went 2
Oh, he
innings.
went 2
for-
innings in the
yeah,
one. You're right.
in the
Yep.
St. Louis one. So
Okay. So yeah, I mean, my man's on like a 10-inning streak right now or whatever.
Yeah. Now those runners are his. Unfortunately,
Well, that's
so if they
true, yeah.
score,
Well.
that's on him.
I guess I shouldn't speak too soon.
I like it. Put it in there.
Right.
Put it in the ether.
I
We can
like
probably welcome the chat back in here as I'm looking at 123 comments I haven't seen. Bad umpiring first batter. You're unreal.
Oh man, it looked like he would have been able to. That would have been nice if he was able to get there, but
Ain't that the truth?
Ricky
However-
Logan says, thankfully the broadcast kept bringing up the no-hitter. He was unaware. I was wondering the same thing, Ricky. I was listening to it because I was at the ballpark to start and listening to it on the way home, and I was sitting there, and Tommy Thrall danced around it a couple of times. Then he just come out and said it, and I'm like, oh, well, I guess we're doing this.
Right, like, that's
Sadak
just how
does
it's
not
now.
care. Sadak, I'm convinced Sadak, like he's like I don't believe in these jinxes, so I'm going to, say as much as I want about it because
He uses
If
a
I
little
say it-
reverse psychology. Yeah.
I would love to hear Sadak's call on a moment like that.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't wait to hear them clip up Spencer Steer's third home run tomorrow.
Well, that's always a good time.
okay, he'll pop.
go.
There's one.
Popped him out the third.
All right, here we go, Taylor.
Took care of the batting champ.
Be worth a damn here. And you got Fernando Tatis and Manny Machado both out.
They're both out.
So,
So
all right.
You're not seeing Machado here.
you are seeing Merrill though. Merrill is pretty good. So
He's a lefty too, though, right?
no, I think he's right-handed.
I'm
He's
thinking. Never mind. I got my young guys mixed up. How about?
Yeah,
I can't get a double play ball.
came
Runners
with a
on
nice
second,
little line
third, one
drive.
out.
Little
Yeah.
line drive to Espinal, steps on third, game over. How about that?
We've seen
I'll
Ellie
take
make
that.
that play behind second base a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Corey, you're getting some likes on your hat there, brother. I think Molly enjoys it.
Okay. I get
That's
the
a good
All-Star
one.
fit, man. Oh, wait. Let
I'm
me
not
turn to
gonna-
the other side. I got the All-Star tag on there.
Oh,
It's
which
weird.
year is that?
That's
This year's hat.
Oh, this year's.
I
Oh,
grabbed
nice.
it. I grabbed it at the ballpark Tuesday night when we went down for the burn start.
Nice.
The stars on top don't look as bad on your noggin as they did when you look at it on the shelf.
Yeah, because you got the two
That was
stars
the-
here on the top.
that's
of
the
that.
reason
Oh,
That's the
Yeah.
reason I didn't like it. Like when
Right.
it's sitting on the shelf, those two stars were weird.
I mean, unless you're 6'8", you're not going to be able to see him.
Yeah, no, it looks good.
Thanks, man.
And then there's a team version of that one too. There's a red one that has the stars that I think they'll actually wear in game. I think that's more the or the home run derby one where it's like National
Gotcha.
League.
Right.
So there's two versions of it, but they actually get to wear their uniforms in the All-Star game this year. There's a
there you go. All right,
Rogers.
Come on,
keep that
this.
shutout. Let's
get on
this.
your feet. 2 outs. Let's go.
Strand them, baby.
Come on.
Attaboy. Yeah, I really like this one too because my local high school here is royal blue. So now I got a Reds hat I can wear on with my
nice.
royal blue stuff. So kind of 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah, I got the 4th of July one to wear for all the American holidays. So I've got my Veterans Day, 4th of July, Memorial Day. I've got that hat in the bag now. It's kind of nice having something.
I have
the red, white, and blue.
I have the bucket hat, the red, white, and blue bucket hat. That's what
I
have.
Yes,
the red
nice.
one.
That's it right there.
I tried to wear it at one of the pregame shows. Ricky and I both had it on, but it like wouldn't fit over my headphones, so we just kind of just like
we got 2 strikes. We got 2 strikes. Let's finish out a ball game here. Come
on, boys. Let's go.
Come on. Let's do this.
Let's get us a shutout one time, huh?
Oh, come on. Having hard trouble hearing pitch com. That's a good sign. That's a real good sign.
That's a good problem to have.
Let's do it, baby.
Come on, Taylor.
It's in my profile picture, Ricky says. That hat you guys tried to wear.
Yeah. I'm like trying to say something while like in a weird position to try to keep it on my head. Nick, you're still pacing this game? I guess he's still got guys out there, but
he's got a shutout intact, man. That's his ERA on the line out there.
He's the biggest cheerleader right now.
Hell yeah.
I love to see it too, boy.
Come on. Oh.
All right. Good block, Stevenson.
I don't hate the pitch, but a little bit too much.
Oh man. Oh boys, we've been here 5 minutes and I'm 2 beers down. So we're gonna have to take
it's gonna be a good night, Tater.
It's gonna be a fun one. I got folks staying here over the weekend. That's why we were down at the ballpark tonight.
Yes, sir.
Oh, come on. Be there Sunday as well. If anybody's at the ballpark, say hey. Love to see you. It'll be a good time to be down there on Sunday. Hopefully going after a series sweep.
Yeah, we'll be getting the brooms out on Sunday, boy.
Oh man. Come on. Come on.
Let's finish this off.
Chad, I love you, and I still can't tell if you're messing with us or not, so I'm just going to watch the game for a second. I've seen and this one belongs a couple of times already.
All right. 2-2.
Come on. Come on,
kid. Come on, kid.
This is Rogers and his ultimate nemesis, players inherited runners.
Yeah.
I feel like his ERA is not that.
Oh, stay in play.
Stay in
play.
Not
Come
quite.
on, Espinal. Get ball.
Go, Gadget Arms.
That's just a precaution. Come on.
If you haven't done so yet, please like the stream, subscribe, all that.
Yeah,
good
share
stuff.
it with folks because we're going to talk about this thing for a significant amount of time tonight. On the other end of this thing, we're going to make sure we get into every detail and what we enjoyed about tonight. Oh, another foul ball as we get it at 2-2.
Come on, kid.
Let's do this. Merrill is lefty.
You're right. I don't know what I was because I knew it came.
I was
up
thinking
a
I was getting
shortstop.
confused with Jerks or Profar
because I know he came up a shortstop. So I was like, I know he throws right-handed, but you're right. He's left-handed.
In the baseball card game, he's a hit.
I thought he had.
Yeah, I mean he got second in the Rookie of the Year to Paul Skeens.
Yeah, no, he was saying something.
Right.
Yeah, and he would be. I think if he was in a rookie this year, he'd be running away with it. The rookie class this year is not very good. Like if Chase Burns puts together 10 good starts,
we got a chance. Yeah, and that's ball 4. So we're going to load the bases.
All right,
they can cut the lead in half with one swing of the bat.
No, they can also end this game with one swing of the bat.
Yeah, we're going to roll over one right here. We're going to call it.
That's right.
Come on, boys.
2 down.
I'm cracking beers. I was going to wait till after the win, but here's to the win. We're talking this into existence.
Come on. This should have been.
B. Johnson is who this is.
Bryce Johnson.
Hitting 447.
Bryce Johnson.
417. Sorry, yeah. My eyes on this small TV in my office aren't the
You're all
best.
good. He's got a 962 OPS. I mean, the kid's doing something right.
Is this their Austin wins?
Very well could be. Come on, Taylor. Get us out of this.
All right, foul
one
ball,
more.
strike two. Come on, get him.
Let's
Come
go.
and get him.
Let's go.
This is only Bryce Johnson's 8th game this year.
Aha, that makes sense.
So he's a strikeout away from hitting 300.
Attaboy. We're lowering this average right now.
Let's go. Come on, Taylor.
5 for 13 is what he is right now.
Come on, Taylor.
Good for him. Good start
Right.
to it.
Yeah. Got to start somewhere.
Come on. Come on. Oh, stay and play. Nope.
Come on.
Man. Deja vu all over again.
Yep. And that's the third time I've seen it. And this one belongs to the Reds, and I still don't know if I can trust it.
I'm not even looking at the chat.
I'm not even
I
going
can't do
Can't do it.
it. Don't look at the chat. We love you, chat, but
I got to get rid of this thing.
Shoot.
we need likes.
Come on,
we need
baby.
likes.
Let's do it.
Likes. We get enough likes here. Look at all
Likes
these.
for
We got-
strikes. I love it.
We got. Let's see how many people we got watching right now.
There was a significant amount
I got
of effort
7
into that
1/4.
last. Yeah, I got 725. Come on. Ball 2.
Come on.
End it. Come on.
We need followers. Like, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends. Let's push this thing to 800 and get us a win here. Let's go.
Come on, baby.
A little 60-foot curveball.
3-2.
Nothing like
He's
making
gonna
it interesting, Rogers.
He's gonna walk his freaking run in, man. This
No,
is
he's
how
not.
you're gonna. We're gonna
No,
go
he's
to a
not.
second reliever tonight.
We're striking. He's striking him out right here. He's striking him out. Come on.
This is just a shit.
Come on, Taylor
Come on.
Rogers. Come on.
Ugh.
Oh, he walked him.
It's
in.
awful. That's awful.
Oh, that's terrible.
Mm.
Man, that stings.
I'd embarrass his ass right here. I'd go get him. I'd let him know how terrible of an outing that is.
I'm not sure you got another arm warming.
22 pitches. You better start getting somebody.
You better get, yeah, you're exactly right. We're getting there. Come on, man.
You better get somebody up quick. Pitch to contact. You're up 8 runs. God, on a night when everything was so good, we're going to talk shit about Taylor Rogers. We're going to talk stuff about Taylor Rogers. That's not good. Daggone it.
And poor Nicky's going to have a stroke, man. We got to get out of this so he can sit
I
down.
know.
Yeah.
Poor Nick needs his blood pressure to go down.
No doubt. My man is getting his steps in tonight, bud.
That's one earned run on Nick, unfortunately.
Yeah. A blemish on his record.
Lefty on left.
Come on, kid.
There's a strike. Hey.
You get us out of this, we'll forgive you, I guess.
Yeah, man. 8-1 ain't nothing.
Come on.
Oh.
All right.
He gets 2
Here
strikes
we are
now.
again. Yeah, here we are again.
Yeah, the other guy, too.
I think the last 2 guys, 0-2.
Lion.
Oh, Rogers.
Golly.
Yeah, just the fact he had to get somebody up is
Yeah,
embarrassing.
that's right. Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh,
There we go.
Let's go.
baby.
Yes.
Let's do this.
Your Cincinnati Reds are victorious 8-1 over the San Diego Padres. Let's do a show on the other side of this, boys. What do you say?
Let's do it.
And this one belongs to the Reds.
Yes, sir.
High drive, left center field, racing back to the Laurent Bourgeois. The Reds are National League Central Division champions. In the air, left center field. Did he? He did! He did! Reds win! Win! Line into right field. Genius, the first Red ever with 4 home runs in a game. Can you believe it? In the air, down the right field line. Doesn't have a chance. The Reds have won on a 3-run home run on opening day by Ramon Hernandez. A strike away and out away is Homer Bailey. Ground ball to third. Frazier gloves. Throw to first, and Homer Bailey for the second time in his major league career, has tossed a no-hitter. Oh, are you kidding me? Holy moly, the second player in major league history to hit 7 home runs in the first 10 games. In the air, and the Reds win it. What a dream to get into the career of Jay Bruce.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Welcome back into another winning edition of Chatterbox Reds. I am Corey Phillips. I'm joined tonight by my younger but less handsome little brother, Eric Phillips, and one of the hardest working guys in the business, Mr. Mike Hart. Guys, a fantastic night at the ballpark, man. What an absolute show Nick Martinez put on. The offense was there to pick us up. Spencer Steer had one of the greatest games we've ever seen Spencer Steer have. Give me your overall thoughts on tonight's game at the ballpark, boys.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I couldn't have asked. What a great time to be a Reds fan. You know, we just take 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. We just lay the wood onto the San Diego Padres, man. I was excited for, just watching this with a huge smile on my face. You probably saw over the last innings, even though Steer couldn't get his 4th home run and Martinez couldn't close out the no-hitter, man, that was just a fun game. We had so much going on. We had long ball, but we also had some hitting from the top of the lineup and great pitching. And boy, it's just fun to see a Reds team like this. Let's carry this over to tomorrow and the next day. How about that?
It would be nice. And this is a series that you're talking about that's a team that's in a wild card right now. I mean, this is a team that you're going to have to compete with all the way down the stretch there in the National League West. So, they're going to take their lumps within their division with the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers also being good. But when a team like this comes into town and you have the opportunity to capitalize, this felt like a really big series, and you got heroic efforts from 2 dudes tonight that if this is the kind of stuff you can get turned in, it's unbelievable. And just to get on top of the Nick Martinez thing as well, this is a guy that gives you 3 innings in relief in a week where he ran the bullpen short with a 2 2/3 innings outing his last time out. Brady Singer wanted to keep his spot in rotation. Nick Martinez looked at Tito and said, listen, man, I'll take it anywhere. Tito said it gave him goosebumps. He knew he had a guy that was willing to go and fight for his team. There's nobody more deserving than team guy Nick Martinez to come out and put out an effort like this tonight. So happy for him. So happy for the city. Almost saw a little bit of magic, but I'm telling you what, a 3 home run night by a Cincinnati Red doesn't come around very often either. And so still a lot of folks going home happy on a Fireworks Friday, on a City Connect night. It's just an unbelievable night down there at Great American. So really excited to see what these guys were able to put together this evening, and gives me hope about tomorrow when, if you look at the 3-game set, this is the one you're supposed to lose. Now you go in with your stronger arms going in with Abbott and Lodolo. Get one of those, you've got a series against the team with a winning record, and the beat goes on.
And that's exactly it. You were kind of going into today's game wondering what kind of outing you were going to get from Nick Martinez, coming off of two bullpen sessions that he actually threw live pitching, puts a little bit more stress on the arm. So you're kind of wondering, is there going to be on a pitch count? Is he going to run into a little bit of trouble? And my man was just absolutely lights out. Gave him a pitching performance we absolutely needed. Keeps our bullpen fresh for the next 2 games. So I really like where we're heading, man, into what is a big series that we're now a game and a half behind these guys thanks to tonight's win. So let's go get one tomorrow and get another step closer in the wild card, boys, and just keep right on rolling.
Yeah, I completely agree. Do you have a box score recap? This is Eric.
Yeah,
by the way, I don't know if you didn't know, Eric was at the game earlier. He left with all this going on and made back just so that he could be a part of this. So, I give him
hats off to you
for that, for sure. I don't know if I would have had the gall to leave.
I had the full spectrum as a Reds fan tonight. So I'm at the ballpark with my sons. I've got a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old. I'm with some other folks that are in from out of town. Had an opportunity to take in the first 5 innings with them. I'm there for Spencer Steer's 3rd home run. I know what's going on. I feel it in the ballpark. I tell my oldest before I leave, say, hey, man, take a look at that hit column. Something special could be happening, but I'm going to get out of here. I had a plan. Everybody else had a plan. This is where I needed to be. I got to enjoy a game with the boys. I got a chance to come on here and enjoy a game with you guys. I've got my brother here. I mean, that's what makes this thing so fun. And Chad, I hope you guys understand. We absolutely love this. We are diehard Reds fans at the end of the day, and this is as fun as it gets for us to get a chance to come on here and celebrate this with over 1,000 people as we kind of go around this thing. But for a box score recap. Tonight's game actually was delayed by about 12 minutes because there was one heck of a torrential downpour that happened right before first pitch, or right before 7:10 start. So we actually get started at 7:22. Your Cincinnati Reds against the San Diego Padres. Dylan Cease versus Nick Martinez. And it was a great start to the game. You had a situation where in the top of the first, Nick Martinez works around his one walk of Jackson Merrill, and that he works that around, and CES makes 2 putouts from third base, and so you feel like things are rolling defensively when CES is making good plays. And then in the bottom of the first, TJ Friedel walks, Matt McClain has a base hit out to Fernando Tatis in right field. He actually fumbles that ball, giving them a chance to get to second base. So we've got runners on second and third, and nobody out. Elly De La Cruz grounds out to deep second base, making it 1-0 Reds. A pass ball then makes it 2-0 Reds. In the top of the second, Nick Martinez gets great defense from both Elly and Matt McClain as they're making plays deep in the hole, and Elly gets a chance and Matt gets a chance to show off the strong arm. Bottom of the second, Spencer Steer hits his 7th home run of the year, a little Great American Ballpark special as it leaks about 2 rows into right field. But on a warm night, that's what you need. Put the bat on the ball and good things happen. By the top of the third, as we get to the bottom, a Matt McClain walk, Elly single moves Matt to third. Runners on the corners with nobody out. But a Hayes foul out. Elly does take second base, and you've got runners on second and third with just 1 out. A Gavin Lux strikeout and a Kyler Stevenson strikeout leaves it at 3-0 Reds, and it feels like we kind of missed something. And so momentum kind of comes out of the sails. But Nick Martinez continues to dominate. He retires the top of the fourth. He retires the top of the fifth. In the bottom of the fourth, actually, we had another Spencer Steer home run, making it his 8th of the year, as this one was a no-doubter out to left field, and that set the trend, making it 4-0 Reds. Nick Martinez continued to roll, as I mentioned. He gets great defense from Will Benson. In the bottom of the fifth is when the Reds really blew this thing wide open. An Elly base hit, followed by an Austin Hayes double, makes it 5-0. Gavin Lux then singles to left on a base hit, making it 6-0 Reds, and then Spencer Steer with his 3rd home run of the night and his 9th of the season made it 8-0 Cincinnati Reds. The rest of the game was quite quiet until we get to the top of the 9th, as Nick Martinez sat down everybody since the Jackson Merrill walk in the first inning until we get to the top of the 9th. When he walks the first batter he sees, he's sitting at about 110 pitches at that time. We're all kind of wondering, is this going to be a time that he gets left in? Is it going to be a time that he gets pulled? They let him stay. And Elias Diaz crushes all the hopes and dreams of Cincinnati. And the first hit of the game and the only hit of the night for the San Diego Padres is a double off the left field wall, leaving runners on second and third. And that was it for Nick Martinez. He leaves to an unbelievable curtain call, standing ovation of a crowd of 30,000 plus at Great American Ballpark tonight. An unbelievable outing from Nick Martinez, a gutsy performance in a week where he also gave you 3 innings worth of relief. He leaves with just an unbelievable amount of support from everybody in Red Leg Nation. Taylor Rogers comes in, does what Taylor Rogers does, and disappoints us all, and it ends up an 8-1 ball game. But I'm not going to hang up on Taylor Rogers tonight. We're going to talk about Spencer Steer and Nick Martinez until we're blue in the face. But your Cincinnati Redlegs win a ball game 8-1 tonight, and we get this series off on a hot start. And as our guy Trace Fowler mentioned in the chat, your Redlegs are going to go one more series without ever being swept.
That's right. That's
I
right.
absolutely love it. Let's all drink to that, no doubt. that tastes really good. I ain't gonna lie. So let's get into your DSC deep drive of the day. I wonder who it's gonna be.
So his one in the fourth went the furthest. I think that one went 404. Was out in 30 of 30 parks.
Oh yeah,
so that's his second one. That's his second. It was a shot.
Yeah, let's go with that one then, man. It was a solo shot in the 4th inning.
Yeah, solo shot leading off the 4th inning. It brought the win probability up to 91.9%. Obviously, that would end at 100%. But yep, that was. I'll give that one 403 off the bat. That is our deep drive of the day for one. We had so many to pick from for Spencer Steer.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He had quite a bit to choose from. So 403-foot solo shot, 104.9 miles an hour off the bat, and a 25-degree launch angle is your DSC deep drive of the day. Our deep drive of the day is sponsored by Deep South Commodities. DSC is a leader in renewable commodities for biofuel production, specializing in used cooking oil, collection, aggregation, and sales. Visit www.deepsouthcommodities.com for more information. And thanks as always to our friends at DSC. What an absolute night, boys. I mean, Spencer Steer has given us giving us plenty to choose from the DSC deep drive of the game, man. And it was definitely fun to watch.
We got a couple super chats. Do we want to read those?
Yeah, let's do it.
First.
Let's get them off the top, and then if you got some more guys, we'll have another segment later on where we get a chance to get after these as well.
All right. Yeah, I think that these have some interesting topics in there as well. It's like, how has no one told? This is from Caleb Kelly, 2355. How has no one told Sadak to not speak about a no-hitter as it's happening?
Yeah, we actually talked about this a little bit on while we were live in the ninth. I think Sadak has a reverse psychology kind of approach. He just wants to get it out there and prove that it doesn't really mean anything. But I'm kind of the same way. Like, don't talk about it. We don't have to bring about it. I think the announcer curse might be a real thing, but Sadak is definitely trying to buck that trend.
Yeah. And keep in mind, Sadak is a radio guy as well. He does Westwood 1 for a lot of NFL and college basketball. He's really big into it. And so this is a guy that likes to paint the picture. And so if he's not able to tell you every inch and detail over the microphone, I don't think he's comfortable, and he can't wait to get it off his chest. So rather than being a Freudian slip, he would rather do the reverse psychology play. I'm telling you right now, we're very lucky to have John Sadak. That's one of the best dudes in the business. And I enjoy listening to John. And when he's with Cowboy, there's not a better TV duo out there. I got a chance to listen to Welshie and Thrall on the 20-minute drive from the ballpark back down here. So it was cool to kind of see all aspects of it in the ballpark, watch a little bit on TV, catch it on the radio, all around just a fun night. And the way everybody kind of approached it, nothing but professionalism. And at the end of the day, it's going to happen or it's not. Nick Martinez isn't listening to the radio or listening to anybody on TV. So I'm with Sadak. Talk about it, let it go. If you're in the dugout, you don't talk to Nick Martinez. Yeah. That's the one thing that you don't do.
Yeah, there it is.
The ball players.
I understand that too, because you actually have an effect. I mean, not really. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if you say, "Hey, good job, Nick," to him, it's not actually that big of a deal. But I could see how somebody could potentially have a negative effect. Up in the booth, come on. I mean, this is where I stand on jinxes. I don't think they're real, but I sure as heck am not going to, I didn't say the words. So, it's just I don't believe it, but I'm not going to test it.
Not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
Yeah,
we got somebody that jumps in the chat on a nightly basis with that office one-liner. So
I love that one, man.
Be a little stitious. Now, if you're in the dugout, if you're on the field, if you're playing the game, if somehow you're in a men's softball game or something like that and there's a no-hitter going, don't talk to him. But outside of that, let it rip, let it talk about it. It's what builds the moment. It's what gets the followers. It's, I didn't check on other channels. There may have been a live cut-in on MLB Network or on ESPN or whatever where they're going to Sadak and he's telling the story to a national audience now as our guys get more and more eyes on him. And it's well-deserved. I mean, as you can see in the All-Star voting, this team's underappreciated. It's one of those things that I cannot wait for these guys to bust onto the national scene so that everybody can see what we've seen, that we've got legitimate dudes down here in Cincinnati, and we're really excited for who our team is.
Can we go back to your men's softball comment? If a men's softball team gets no hit, holy smokes, it might be time to hang it up.
Yeah,
that's
come on now, that ball coming
in real
those.
Slow.
That's exactly it. Anyway, we got another super chat from Pete Hoes. Says, what a game, Martinez. Stud. And apparently we signed and played a bearded Fabio in left field tonight. Who is that guy? A lot to unpack.
Ryan Valade. Is it Valade?
Yes,
is that how you say that?
I think so. Valade, Velati, one of the two. I'm fine with calling him Fabio for the rest of
Ryan Fabio.
Yeah,
Ryan Fabio it is.
Isn't that in Moneyball too? Who's Fabio? Oh, he's a shortstop from somewhere back in there.
Well, we picked him up from, I believe, the Cardinals, and then we signed him and put him in AAA. I think he hit a couple home runs and drove in some good runs, was hitting pretty well in Louisville, and so they brought him up as a bench bat. And obviously a defense, he's an outfielder by trade, so I think they put him in there just to, have a defensive upgrade from Gavin Lux, who's naturally an infielder. So that's how he is. I would imagine that's probably all we're going to see him as. We saw Garrett Hampson as a defensive replacement. That's probably what this guy is. Maybe he gets it in batter too, but I think,
and in a wild way, it's almost the Garrett Hampson trade as St. Louis picks.
I know. That is weird.
That was odd, man. But the Steer stud comment and the Martinez stud comment, I think we could all drink to that one.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely correct on that one.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think I take him just because he has the ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Garrett Hampson hadn't homered in 3 years, so we
Right.
don't need to talk about Garrett Hampson tonight.
No.
We have
Yeah,
plenty
no,
of other
no,
stuff
That's
to
not
talk
what
about.
it is. That's
Tonight is
what
not
it
that
is.
night. Tonight is not the night for that one, no doubt.
So it's kind of crazy because we almost saw a situation where Spencer Steer gets overshadowed with a 3 home run ball game because Nick Martinez deals and comes. By the way, Nick Martinez's final line was 8 innings pitched. He does give up 1 earned run because the runner on third was his. That when Taylor Rogers walked in a run in the bottom or in the top of the ninth there. But he goes 8 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned. He does have 2 walks. He strikes out 6. And lowers his ERA to 4.12 on the season. But I want to get back to Spencer Steer. I feel like he's been a guy that he comes up, he does well, he plays well just before Ellie and Matt come up and start to play well. He gets overshadowed by what is the Ellie cloud, and so he's kind of the third wheel and everything. And then on a night where he has his best night as a Cincinnati Red, he almost gets out-dueled by the starting pitcher, and he's an afterthought of like, oh, yeah, I forgot Spencer Steer hit 3 home runs in that game where Nick Martinez had the 18th no-hitter in Cincinnati Reds history. It's just kind of wild how the irony of who Spencer Steer has been his entire career. And honestly, I think if you ask the guy and when they put a camera in his face later, he's not going to care. That's it. He's not a dude that's there for the glam and the glory and the cameras to be on him. He's there to play ball, and the dude's just there. And I'm super happy for him to have a night like tonight where he does get 3 home runs and he's up to 9 on the season. And it's awesome to see.
Yeah, they talked about it in the game, but in his last 9 games, I went back and chronicled a little bit to add in tonight's game as well. He's 16 for 35, which is about a 471 batting average with 3 doubles and now 4 home runs in his last 9 games. So that's
Getting
pretty
hot.
good. This is the Spencer Steer that Cincinnati fans have grown to love. And, it was tough because I think at the beginning of the year, he was so hampered by that shoulder as much as he denied it. I think that it just so clearly was zapping him with power. And if we can get him heating up as a right-handed bat that's going to hit against left-handed pitching, hopefully, that just lengthens this lineup. This dude batted 7th tonight, right? And I don't really have that much of a gripe about it, right? I mean, maybe you bat him in front of Stevenson, but like that seemed like the right spot for him, and he comes in and he delivers. So this lineup is really starting to deepen out with everyone getting healthy, with Hayes getting healthy, with Steer and Stevenson rounding into form, and Ellie and Matt McClain heating up. Like this offense is becoming formidable to the point where it's like everyone's talking about how we need to add a bat, and it's like we'll talk about this in the back half, but like I think maybe they need to bullpen is where they need to focus. But it's just great to see somebody like Spencer Steer really put what's been going on at the beginning of the year and then behind him and coming out and having a great June.
Absolutely. And I wouldn't mind having the depth as another bat off the bench, but I think you're right. We need to go get some bullpen arms, try to help out some of our starting pitching in the back end because we may have just added that bat, man. Austin Hayes might be that guy. Mike, I know you talked about it on the pregame show. Having guys like that in your lineup helps to keep from turning Ellie around all the time, and it protects him a little bit more. And so having Austin Hayes right there, Spencer Steer gets going on the back end. It was a lineup I looked at a couple days ago, and I can't remember exactly which game it was, to be honest, but I saw where Steer was batting ahead of Stevenson, and I almost thought in the back of my head, like, I don't know, I felt like Stevenson had a little bit more pop at the time, blah, 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 and then something like this happens today. He is hitting behind Stevenson, but gets the fastball that he's looking for, that sort of thing, and is able to have a big day at the ballpark. So I could see it both ways. Either Steve, even if you did flip flop Stevenson or Steer, I feel like you're kind of getting this same kind of power both ways. But just seeing those guys produce at the end of the lineup when you've got guys like Friedel and McClain and Ellie at the beginning of, it's just exciting baseball all the way around.
Well, I want to point out that one thing about the line of protection that you're talking about. Remember, they pull Cease and they bring in a lefty to face Ellie. It's very clearly to face Ellie. And what happens? Ellie, it's his worst side, but he still gets a hit. And then Hayes hits a double, right? That's right. Exactly what protection is. The next time if you have a guy behind him that is going to smack around left-handed pitching, you're going to think twice about bringing a left-handed pitcher in to pitch to, Friedel and Ellie. And so that is the type of protection that goes far beyond this one game. It's like if we can have people, because then, Luck's got a hit too. It seemed like Matsui maybe didn't have it tonight. But it's just like if we can have people behind Ellie that can basically keep their managers from really going straight platoons with Ellie De La Cruz, like that's going to get even more better at bats for your superstar, and that's even better, I think, for the Reds. So I think that played out very well tonight, and I just hope if Hayes stays healthy that we can see more and more of that as we move through the season.
And man, it's so exciting to see Spencer Steer, Will Benson, Christian Encarnacion Strand versus Jose Trevino, Santiago Espinal, and Blake Dunn. Like we're not that far removed from the last three of our lineup being just put out. Like, and I know Trevino's had a year and things like that, but watching Christian Encarnacion Strand hit ninth with little to no pressure, and he's playing third base, so it's like it's one of those things that you can see a very easy move as Noelvi Marte gets healthy. It's really exciting to see this thing lengthen out. And they didn't do it against a bum. They did it against Dylan Cease, who's freaking finished second in Cy Young voting. Is that a year ago or 2 years ago? And so it's not like we went out and beat some scrub. Yes, he's struggling a little bit this year, but he's struggled with the long ball more than anything else. He's been beat, just by a couple of hits, and he's had a high K rate. I don't feel like we had that tonight. It didn't seem like it until it was later in the ballgame and it was off the bullpen. We got to Cease early. We got to him often. The top of the lineup delivered, and it's an all-around great win. I mean, Spencer Steers, you're the hero from the offensive side because he hits 3 dingers, but Lux put the bat on the ball. Ellie, Austin Hayes, welcome back. Like you said, Gavin Lux gets one from the left side too. Benson has a hard hit ball. It's just a great night. It's good for everybody up and down the lineup.
Absolutely. I mean, he still got his strikeouts. I think he still ended up with 8 strikeouts before it was all said and done. But we took advantage of his mistake pitches when he did make a mistake and leave it out, or he kept going to that slider on the outside part of the plate too. And when we're ready for it, we were ready for it. So he give him his flowers. He is a good pitcher, man. He's still got 8 strikeouts, but the Reds put it on him. I would say that called it out. I think the third most runs he's given up all year. So this is one of the top-notch pitchers in the league, and nothing to shake a stick at when you get an offensive performance like this against Dylan Cease.
Yeah, and when you look at a payroll where there's $100 million gap between us and the Padres this year,
right?
117 million versus I think it's like 212 or something like that out there in San Diego. And part of that is what they pay in Dylan Cease in order to get him over and keep him to an extension. So, we always talk about these big market names and things like that. It's nice to stick it to somebody and play that small market side and have a lineup up and down that can take care of business. And it just gives more flowers to what Nick Martinez was able to do tonight. Nobody saw that coming. And that dude dug deep and gave us something that I don't think any of us knew was even possible.
Yeah. Reds are at 117 mil, Padres 209 mil. Reds are 22nd, Padres are 9th.
Yeah.
And I think that goes into the Padres have some top end talent. And the thing is they have some superstars, Tatis and Machado. And I think Cease has been a pretty good pitcher, but their issue has been depth, right? It's like when people get hurt, like Mike King was good for them and he's hurt. Yu Darvish has been good for them. He's hurt. Jackson Merrill has been good this year, but he just came back from being hurt. So when you have a team like this where you're built around your superstars and then your superstars are either not producing, I think Machado and Tatis went over 3 today. Cease got knocked around, and it really falls flat for you. So it's kind of the stars and scrubs approach to assembling a baseball team, and we'll see where that lands them. I mean, they're still ahead of us in the wild card race, but unless they can get people healthy or start producing soon, I can see them kind of going the opposite trajectory as the Reds are.
It's crazy how injuries can affect $100 million or a $200 million roster the same way they can affect $100 million roster.
Yeah,
and it's good on a night when you get Austin Hayes back and you're finally back. They had put the lineup out before the game, and Nick Kirby asked the question, "Is this the best Reds lineup of the year?" And I honestly do think it is. I just looking at it against a right-handed pitcher, I think is when we're at our best. And one thing we didn't touch on the Ryan Velarde acquisition, that is due in part to Jake Fraley going on the 10-day IL as well. And so you do need that person to stay there. As Austin Hayes comes back, Jake Fraley does take a 10-day stint. And he's got a right shoulder issue that sounds like it's a little more serious than what a 10-day IL stint might be otherwise. So, thoughts and prayers out to Jake and what he's done here in Cincinnati. Hopefully it's not as bad as they make it out to be, but Ryan Velarde does fill a hole right now for the time being. And until Noelvi Marte gets here, I think he's going to stick on the roster for a significant period of time.
Yep, that was my next point. The only thing I could think of is more offensive production out of the third base spot. we're going to need somebody to start hitting. CES did have a walk today, so I mean he's not seeing the ball terribly, but some of his swing and misses on those outside pitches, man. I mean it's halfway into the left-handed batter's box. So I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more offensive production out of our hot corner over there. But other than that, the lineup looks really good. And
imagine
like
putting Marte in the middle of that lineup. Marte hitting the
Exactly.
way he was, smacking the ball around the yard, man. Like that, you have Steer or Stevenson batting eighth at that point. Like that is depth in a lineup, you know.
Absolutely.
And I think that's like that is. And the big thing too is Hayes and Marte right-handed. Hopefully, give us depth against left-handed pitchers.
Marte's,
I would say that's probably our biggest struggle at the moment, and that's almost like our deadline acquisition is just getting our guys healthy.
Absolutely. Marte's still doing the AA stint down in Chattanooga, correct?
That's right.
As I say, that's what I thought.
And he's probably ducking the rain there. Yeah,
he's probably going to be a little bit more extended there. Just because he was off for longer and it's a oblique, right? They're going to try to make sure that they bring that along slowly, to make sure that, hey, we're not going to put this guy in a position to get injured again when we bring him back up. So,
right. And I read something about that. They were going to send him up to, I think it was Louisville, but Louisville was calling for rain and they didn't want to do that. So they said,
they were in St. Paul, and they were going to get rain. So that's why they sent Hayes and Marte to Chattanooga to make sure they got games in rather than get rained out.
And sure enough, tonight, Chattanooga gets rained
Did
down.
they really? Well, Hayes isn't there anymore, so
no, Hayes isn't there, so we don't have to worry about that. It was kind of wild to see Austin Hayes foul a ball off his foot tonight, which is what put him on the IL to begin with. And he immediately looks at the dugout like, "I'm fine,
We're good.
Yeah.
We're good."
And he did. And I don't know if you the Jim Day podcast as he catches up with players. The Austin Hayes segment was fantastic as he talked about like I'll wear a foot guard from here on out. They got into the whole batting gloves conversation and things like that, but he said I'll wear something to protect my foot from here on out just because it's what's necessary. So enough of being a tough guy and finally starting to get smart and hopefully, stick around for a significant period of time. If we can get him to the All-Star break healthy, after the All-Star break, give him another week off and be ready to roll. I think Austin Hayes is an incredible asset to this lineup. And we were talking about production from the third base side there with Noelvi Marte coming back, and that would be awesome. But a hitting catcher makes everything kind of disappear. When you've got Tyler Stevenson and Jose Trevino doing what they're doing with the stick, the lack of production from third base or the lack of production from wherever, you're getting production from second base and Matt McClain at an unbelievable clip. You're getting it from the corner and Spencer Steer, or whether that be left field or first base, wherever Steer is going to play. Your center fielder's having a career year in TJ Friedel. You're getting some other power and things from spots that other teams don't. So if it's third base is where the hole is, I'm okay with that, giving CES an opportunity to figure out what he is. But I'm all for the iron sharpening iron. And when Noelvi Marte gets back, if that's what sends Christian Encarnacion Strand back down to Louisville to try to get it figured out and start to mash again, so be it. You've got a couple of weeks to figure yourself out, or your replacement's coming, man. And we don't have time to sit around and wait on people. But that's when you start to go from major league depth to organizational depth. And you're really rowing the boat in the right direction. And we continue to build on that. So really exciting to see.
Yeah. Do we want to talk a little bit more about Nick Martinez? I know we started off with this, but I think he deserves a little bit more chatter just because, what he did tonight, after coming back from probably his worst start of the year, right? 2 2/3 innings, 7 earned runs against Minnesota, and to come back on a warm, hot night and just mow down the Padres, that was just incredible.
Absolutely. And just the grit that he shows, man. He's becoming one of my favorite baseball players as a pitcher. You don't really say that out loud about some of your starters, but just the grit he's absolutely showed when the teams needed him and we needed an extra arm out of the bullpen. He was there for us and gave us an absolute, stellar performance tonight. So it's Nick Martinez definitely deserves his flowers tonight, man. I was kind of holding my breath a little bit, wondering what it was going to look like tonight coming out of those two bullpen outings. But he looked really good against a really good Padres lineup, and he deserves every bit of credit that he's getting.
Yeah, looks like we got some technical difficulties going on with Eric. I was taking a look at his pitch mix because it just seemed like he was throwing a lot more changeups, and my eyes were correct. He threw the majority changeups tonight. That was his highest percentage pitch. Now he threw all of them a lot, and it was only 29%, but he threw the most pitches that he threw tonight was of changeups. So he threw that 29% of the time, and it looks like he was getting some serious whiffs from them. I guess he was getting whiffs from his cutter too. He had 14 swing and miss tonight. 5 of them was his changeup, and 8 of them was his cutter. And I'm trying to look up what it was in Minnesota, but I think that is maybe an adjustment that he's made. That 4-seam fastball that he was throwing was kind of just getting walloped, and I think he threw only 18 of them, all of them to lefties, none of them to righties, and he was just like, I'm not getting beat on this pitch. So it's just really cool to see a guy with this huge wide arsenal. He also only threw 3 sliders. I don't know if his cutter and slider are almost the same. I think they're like the sliders at like 86 and the cutters at like 87, 88. So it's not, sometimes StatCast can get those things, confused and won't do that correctly. But it's really interesting to see his pitch mix and what he's been doing, because like something about his 2 outings, I think maybe either centered him or got him ready gave him even some confidence to, go out here and beat a pretty good lineup. I don't know. What were your thoughts on what you were seeing out of him tonight?
And a lot of life on the changeup, like you were talking about. I don't know if it was the humidity or what it was that was able to catch the ball right, but it just had a lot of movement, man, and a lot of life on the fastball too. So when you're able to change it up like that, and like you say, keep them off balance. I'm not sure how many, like I don't have the numbers in front of me or whatever, but he was able to use it anytime in the counts when he needed to, and so that just makes you more effective, especially when you can throw it for a first pitch strike or when you need it for a strikeout pitch. When your changeup's got that kind of life to it, it can definitely set you up for what we saw tonight. I mean, effective, in and out, moving quick. So that seems to play right into Nick Martinez's hand anyway. So
yeah. So I looked up his last start, and in his last start, he threw cutter 35% of the time, sinker, 4-seam fastball, all more than the changeup. So clearly something it seems like this is a pretty specific game plan where he was just like, all right, my changeup maybe he was feeling it in the first inning, or maybe he was like, I'm throwing way too many of these sinkers that are getting obliterated, or 4-seam fastballs that are getting obliterated. So I'm going to throw less of those and throw more of my best pitch. And that's, I love that. I love that adjustment, because, seeing, getting 8 and I guess not quite 8 1/3, but 8 innings out of a guy, out of just a simple adjustment to your pitch mix, like that's huge. That's the Derek Johnson effect.
Eric, welcome back. You get everything figured out over there, brother?
Little quick power outage in Liberty Township. That was a little rough, not gonna lie.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, that was kicked me out for a quick minute, lights and everything. I was sitting here it is dark in this basement when the lights go down.
We're finishing off giving Nick Martinez his flowers, man. You got any last comments to say about Nick before we move on?
I give it to Suter when he does the things that the team asks. Anytime you take the ball and do what he does, the fact that he gave Tito goosebumps and it gave Tito an opportunity to speak to the press about him, you root for the guy for the rest of the way. No matter what happens, the millions of dollars that we've given him, the way that we made the qualifying offer and it ended up being accepted. I know there was a lot of discrepancy as to whether or not that was worth it. I hate to say it a success at the halfway point of the season, but the dude's done it. Yeah, it feels really worth it. And if that turns into something that might be, a significant bullpen arm as we go down the back half, or whatever he turns into be, Nick Martinez, thank you for everything that you've done for this city to this point, and can't wait to see you in 5 days.
Absolutely, and it's going to spark confidence out of the rest of the guys. The rest of your pitching staff sees that, and if your pitchers are being that gritty, your guys in your bullpen are your guys in the bullpen, the guys in the dugout, they're all going to want to be that gritty. So it's going to feed off of it, and I kind of like having that little bit of grit, man, when we absolutely need it. It's felt crucial in what is a crucial time in our schedule with the gauntlet of teams that we've been running through. So absolutely needed it, absolutely had to have it, and Nick Martinez gave it to us when we needed it most.
And he threw everything for strikes tonight too. I think that was something they mentioned on the radio broadcast. It didn't matter which pitch it was; everything was located exactly where he wanted to. It was a special night, and you wish it would have come out with the no hitter, but at the same time, one hit versus no hits, not a significant difference. He hung one pitch that was a mistake that damn near left the yard, but it hits off the wall out there, and
second longest hit of the night was that Elias Diaz.
Yeah.
The fact that didn't go out. I don't know, 393 feet double.
Yeah.
Right.
How that run doesn't score from first is beyond me.
Yeah.
But no, I think everything that you guys have said is awesome, and I love that we're there. I think moving on, this is something we know we wanted to touch base on tonight as well. You've got a guy that's willing to do whatever it takes for the team in Nick Martinez, and we've seen it in Brent Suter. We've seen it in Ellie De La Cruz coming back from bereavement leave and not missing a game out of these 162. Ellie's now going to have a chance to have a significant time off during the All-Star game if he doesn't make it because he has declined the opportunity at the Home Run Derby. Do you guys want to get into that now, or do you want to save that for a little bit later?
Let's get into it now, man. I'm kind of on the fence, man. I'll be honest with you. I can see it both ways. As a Cincinnati Reds fan, I would love to see my guy out there just mashing the home runs that we know he's capable of doing. Everything in me as a Cincinnati Reds fan wants to plug into the All-Star game to watch our guy do that. But by the same token, I mean, there's many studies and many different numbers out there that you can look up that talk about the home run average decreases after the home run derby. Some of your batting averages start to drop after a while and that sort of thing. And so I kind of like Ellie taking the days off. He's making a point to be at the ballpark and be plugged into every single game, every single night. So I'm kind of on board with him taking the night off and giving himself the rest. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, my head says thank goodness, but my heart, I mentioned this at during the pregame show, my heart wishes that we could watch Ellie hit moonshots. I think the only thing about this is that I think Ellie does eventually do this once, like at least once. He's one of the superstars of the game. He's on the cover of MLB The Show. He's going to do a home run derby at some point. I kind of would rather him do it when he's 23 in a season when we're in fourth place. Now, obviously, we're still vying for a playoff spot, but imagine 2 years from now, he is on an even better pace because he's gotten better, and the Reds are in first place. And he's a bona fide starter, superstar, and then he does it. You know, I'm not saying that this would necessarily keep him from doing that then, but my thought process is it would be cool if he did this and then got it out of his system so that all the other years of his contract that we have him where we're contending and he's theoretically better, he can say, I did it once. It made me tired and, I struggled or something like that. And then he doesn't do it. So that's my only thing. Obviously it's better for this year, but I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too far in the future for that, but that's just my only thought. I think overall it's better for this team, but it would be sweet to get some red shine out there. Cause clearly based on this fan vote, there's not that much red shine right now.
Well, is it fan vote? Is it the lack of shine or just the lack of population? An LA market versus a New York market versus a Cincinnati market, and how many people there are here. That's what makes it so damn special, though. You're a part of a smaller, more elite club when you're here in Cincinnati. Like that's what makes us who we are. And I'm not going to complain about not being in LA or New York at any point in time. The Society for American Baseball Research, or SABR, as some of you may have heard it, did a comparison on pre-Derby to post-Derby on guys that participated. And they split pre-Derby, their OPS was at 969. Post-Derby, they're at 926. Their home run percentage, it was 6.06 at bats of a home run percentage. Post-Derby, 5.346. Guys that would have had the same stats but did not compete, they go from an 851 OPS to an 858 after not competing. So OPS goes up when you don't compete. OPS goes down when you do. Home run percentage goes from 4.201 to 4.288. Your home run percentage goes up after not competing versus going down when you do compete. So I'll take those guys and what they've done in their studies and say it's a good thing. I still remember Todd Frazier. I've got a 7-year-old that would love to see Ellie mash. We play the show 25. That's his dude. That's what he wants to do. We've got 44 jerseys all over this house. I want him to be there. But if it means anything, if you got to take solace in it, the Cincinnati Reds are a better baseball team with Ellie not hitting on Monday night.
Yeah, and part of that, though, just to push back a little bit, part of that is also natural regression, right? The guys that go into the Derby are the ones that are like Cal Raleigh. Cal Raleigh he's already hit 33 home runs. Even if he didn't compete in the Derby, he's probably not hitting that many home runs in the second half. So I think part of it is the people that get selected for the home run Derby are just in general due for some home run regression. Now, do I think people, there's been enough anecdotal evidence out there from people where they talk about how tiring it is, how, I changed my swing to try to hit more home runs that has led to stuff that is been harmful, that I trust those numbers. But you got to remember too, there's the people that get picked for the All-Star Home Run Derby are the ones that are on a hot streak, and most of them are on a hot streak in a way that's not necessarily sustainable. So that there is that aspect of it too. It's easy to blame the Home Run Derby, but I doubt the Home Run Derby is affecting somebody a month and a half after the Derby. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Oh yeah,
there is that aspect of it too.
I'm eating the crab sandwich on this one and just trying to put a rose on it. Like I'm not happy that Ellie's not in the Derby, but as one of our people in the chat mentioned, it's probably because he's not been voted in as a starter. Ellie's a big enough name in this game, and he's more recognizable to the young generation than 99.9% of the guys in Major League Baseball. The dude just absolutely drips all over the place with the sliding mitts and the colors that he wears and the flashiness that he plays with. Like, Ellie is a very recognizable name. He's working on his English to become the face of baseball. He's got Aaron Judge to compete with. He's got Shohei to compete with. He's got all these guys that are, in that line as well. But I want to make sure that, whatever it is that is the reason, I hope Ellie gets that word out there. So if it is I'm not a starter, so I'm not competing, maybe that gets the kids that are, between 10 and 18 years old to get online and go vote for Ellie next year because they want to see him in the Home Run Derby. If there's that little bit of a prize out there, maybe that's what he needs to become a starter. Hold yourself out. It's one of the few bargaining chips that you have in this fan vote situation where the fan vote just it's not fair. It's not a situation. We don't want to see 7 Dodgers start in the All-Star game. Are the Dodgers good? Yeah, they are. Give me Ellie De La Cruz over Mookie Betts any day of the week, though.
Yeah, and Ellie's gonna make the team. Like I don't have any doubt that he's gonna be on there as a reserve. Like I think that he will be a part of that team going to, where is it, Atlanta, right? I think is where it is.
Yep.
So I'm not worried about Ellie not making the team. I agree completely with you when it comes to these fan voting. It's just like, it's one of those things where when your market is twice as big, and maybe in some cases even bigger than that, than the Cincinnati market, just it's not fair. And it's silly. The thing is, this is an exhibition. MLB doesn't really care that it's not fair. I hate to break it to everyone here that's complaining about that. They're like, we are totally fine with Mookie Betts. Is Ellie going to draw a lot of eyes? Yeah, he probably will. But like, they're completely fine with a New York Met and a Los Angeles Dodgers starting at shortstop for the National League. So, do I think it's going to change? Probably not, because the MLB doesn't care. And this doesn't actually mean anything. I guess in the past it has meant something, right? Home field advantage in the World Series. But now it doesn't really mean anything. It's just a showcase. MLB is going to try to get their best guys there. That's really all it is.
And if they get their best guys there, and that's one thing. And the dark side of me looks at it as, well, Dave Roberts has got to be licking his chops at this opportunity, because he gets a chance to go woo Ellie by saying, "Hey man, come play for me in this All-Star game. You're a manager selection 5 years ahead of whatever arbitration and whenever he goes to the big market team when he has that contract come up." But we're not going to talk about that because tonight's a great night.
It's a positive
for the Cincinnati Reds. But I do want to the NFL does a really good job of this, of each market having an opportunity to put their guys out there. You talk about Cincinnati, where you've got Joe Burrow, you've got T. Higgins, you've got Jamar Chase. You've got superstars. You go to Kansas City, it's Travis Kelce, it's Patrick Mahomes, and it's a bunch of guys. Everybody gets 1 or 2. You don't see 7 from a team. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see 7 superstars from Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and then the guys that they have. You don't see, even back in the Steelers days, there was Troy Polamalu, there was Ben Roethlisberger, and then there was the rest of the team.
Man, he was making a great point too.
Right in the middle of a good heater too.
I know, dude.
That's all right. Like, man, they're going through some technical difficulties with must be storming down in Liberty
like
Township.
He might have lost power again.
Yeah, it's kind of cut him off right there in the middle of a good one.
I mean, the point he's trying to make is that the balance of power is more spread out in the NFL, and we see that through the draft and things like that. And we see the difference in baseball with the salary cap and things like that, and just how it doesn't seem like it's you're not playing in the same sandbox, right? When the
Right.
Dodgers or the Yankees can spend as much as they. I mean, we faced the Yankees in that first game. They let off. It was Goldschmidt, Bellinger, Judge. Those guys all have MVPs, right? Those are 3 MVPs leading off their lineup. So it's just like, and then you go to the Dodgers, you have Ohtani, Freeman, Betts, right? What are the 3 MVPs?
That's
So it's
exactly
just
it.
like it is tough, and
Those
I
are
don't want to
3.
sit here and complain about how the fact that we're a small market team and blah 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 blah. But
Right.
it is a realistic thing, and we'll see as this new CBA comes along. I think in 2 years, what changes or what updates there may be. But it's the cards that we've been dealt, and all we can do is go and enjoy this team for what it is. This team is making us really happy right now. We're winning series against good teams, and that's what we can ask for. We just go out every day, and just like this city, put in a hard day's work and go for the win. Eric, are you back with us? Did your power go out again?
Something's going on. I think it's a little windy out there or something. I'm not sure what exactly it is, but
It's all
apologies,
right.
guys. Yeah. So
It's all right.
in that NFL conversation, just to put a bow on that, you have an opportunity to spread the wealth with your superstars, and the league as a whole is better for it. Major League Baseball has done a better job here recently of putting faces of baseball out there. The baseball trading card circuit's doing really well. We know Ellie, we know Shohei. We didn't know Mike Trout. We really didn't. He was stuck in Los Angeles and he was in purgatory to the point that he was never really put on that pedestal. We're starting to see guys rise to meteoric, places, and maybe it's a little closer to home because we've got Ellie here, but Mookie, Ellie, Shohei, Aaron Judge, all these guys are faces of the league the same way the NFL has. Now you've just got to make sure that depth makes it out, and you give these guys all the opportunity to be, as special as they really are.
Absolutely. You got to spread the wealth a little bit. But with, like you say, when your teams are willing to go spend the money that those guys are, you're getting 4 and 5 guys that have all-star caliber voting or MVPs. And those are players that guys want to go see. So obviously when 4 or 5 of them end up on the Dodgers, 3 or 4 of them end up on the Yankees, it just makes it really hard because those are the players that people want to see, but those guys are willing to go spend the money on it. And you know what I mean? So it kind of puts you in a rock and a hard place. So, but I definitely see where you're coming from.
Yep. And I see, tired of buying championships. I know the Dodgers won last year. But the year before that, the National League representative in the World Series was the Arizona Diamondbacks. So baseball is still baseball. It's still the most random sport out of there. And, if we can, this is why you just need to get to the playoffs, right? You get hot in the playoffs, and boy, we could find ourselves on a World Series run, and that would just be incredible. So speaking about the second half of this series, I figured we'd spend a little bit of time just talking about what our outlook is here on the back half of this series, or of this season. We just hit, those are 82nd games, so we've now officially moved into the second half. We've had our first 81. What are your guys' thoughts on where we stack up for the rest of this year and how we're going to approach things?
Eric, go ahead.
It's exciting. You need Hunter Green back. A performance like tonight from Nick Martinez is unbelievable, and you take it, and it's a stalwart effort. It's the same thing you got from Andrew Abbott right after the Hunter Green news up in Cleveland. And so it's one of those things that if you can continue to get, we need a Nick Lodolo solid performance at some point in time very soon. I'm underwhelmed with what Nick Lodolo has provided us this year. With the same things that we love about Nick Martinez being gritty, or Andrew Abbott and things like that, are the same reasons why I don't like where Nick Lodolo is. You need solid efforts from all of those guys, and you need Hunter Green back. If not right after the All-Star break, pretty quickly after the All-Star break, because it's going to take that starting 5 to start to bail out the bullpen in order to prevent that overusage. Or I loved what Charlie Goldsmith had to write today, where he said we have to take a chance on some of these young bullpen arms in Luis May and Zach Maxwell and Connor Phillips in order to make Tony Santillan and Emilio Pagan more effective towards the end of the season. We've done this thing where we've run these guys out night after night, and you saw the fatigue kind of start to catch up with you last week. Now is a situation where your starting rotation is a little bit of flux right now. Wade Miley being gone, Hunter Green being gone, you're going to need some significant starts from your guys that you're counting on. Andrew Abbott has been a surprise and a delight. Nick Lodolo has been mediocre to disappointing. Nick Martinez gets back on the horse tonight and is back to being a very good surprise. You can get these kinds of things, and you can get these efforts. Brady Singer, a surprise the other night, gives you a great effort in game 3 there. So I love where we're at, but we have to get a little bit of effort from places that we haven't gotten it here recently, and that is from your young guys in the bullpen and guys like Nick Lodolo before you get Hunter Green back. Otherwise, your pitching staff's going to be what costs you a playoff spot here.
Well, and I mean, another one that you didn't mention is Chase Burns, right? He's here, and pumping gas too. So I really think that that yes, we are stretched thin right now, but if we can get just imagine Hunter Green comes back and we push Martinez to the bullpen, and then we can just go with that starting five of Green, Abbott, Lodolo, Chase Burns, and Brady Singer into September, into potentially October. That is something that I feel pretty good about. Now, is everyone going to stay healthy? No, but it's just that level of depth, I think, is way more than we're going to see out of even the people that we're chasing, right? I think the Padres, we're facing Randy Vasquez and Steven Kolek in our next two at bats. I mean, the Cardinals, we're starting to see the cracks in their hot start. The Cubs have lost Justin Steele in their rotation, and with Imanaga's coming back, but just we've seen cracks in their pitching as well. I think where that is going to be even more highlighted this season is as we get into those dog days. I think that depth, if we can get Hunter Green back and then keep a solid rotation, I think that's where we're going to maybe differentiate ourselves, especially from the people that we're chasing in this wild card race.
I think you're right.
And Red Legs Nation, please forgive me for not mentioning Chase Burns. I'm so on top of that guy. We are so here for Chase Burns. I was at his first start the other night. So yes, apologies for leaving him out.
Right, absolutely. Well, and even just making that Chase Burns move makes it feel like we're trying to win now. We talked about how they were going to slow play him and we weren't going to bring him up at the whole 9 yards, and now we're actually giving that young arm a chance. So it makes it feel like we are going to. There is a possibility of pulling the trigger on Luis May and Zach Maxwell and giving some of these younger arms more of a chance. When they see what happened with Chase Burns, you can't tell me that's not going to spark those guys' interest a little bit, get them throwing a little bit better and see it a little bit on the back end. So I like our pitching depth, and I think the Chase Burns move actually puts a little bit more momentum into what is this pitching staff, and it kind of sends the message that we are trying to win now, and we're going to go all in and find out what we've got in some of these young arms.
Yeah.
My only fear with Chase Burns is we're stuck at 80 pitches probably for the foreseeable future. Maybe we get 88, 90 out of him, but I would also imagine there's an innings limit on the end of this thing as well. I don't want to I don't want to count on Chase Burns in the playoffs. We're not with this. Isn't Paul Skeens and the Pirates. This is Chase Burns and the Cincinnati Reds that actually have a chance. So I think there's a significant difference on how this thing gets treated towards the back half of the season that I hope he does. I hope he continues. I'm on the Trace boat of arms like this don't survive healthy for that long. You better use it while you can. And so if that means him throwing more innings than he's ever thrown in his life, and it helps us secure a playoff spot, and then he throws in the playoffs, so be it. But I'm also, as a Reds fan, you have to be aware that these guys are also significantly thinking about the future with him. And I don't know how many times he's going to go out and throw more than 90 pitches. And I don't know how many innings he gives you this year.
Yeah. And just a note on Paul Skeens at the end last year, he didn't throw more than 6 innings for the entire July or August. So, there's the Pirates definitely were babying him going into the end of the year. They were just we get that you're dominant here. We got 5 innings, 6 innings, 6 innings, 5 innings, 5 innings, 6 innings, 6 innings, 6 innings. It's just
it's also a different scenario when you're 20 games out of contention too. So let's see what happens with Chase Burns. And here's the thing: it's even just get us to the playoffs. Because once you get to the playoffs, you're going to throw your 1, 2, 3s, and then everybody else is probably
and then Chase Burns coming out of the pen.
Yes,
yeah,
and that's exactly my point. That kind of leads into Eric's point. If we can get the Lodolo that we know we've got, and you go Abbott, Green, Lodolo, 1, 2, 3. I kind of like our playoff chances when you've got Singer and you've got those guys coming. Not even Martinez.
Coming out of the bullpen.
Coming out of the bullpen, it just gives you. It just solidifies everything all the way around it. So if Chase Burns is going to give us, if we need those innings to get us to the playoffs, so be it. If we don't need them in the playoffs, once we get there with some of the depth that we have and only having to go 3 starters with the breaks and that sort of stuff. So use Chase Burns to catapult us to where we need to get, and we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah, and I think part of it too is you can even like put him in the bullpen before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Say Martinez continues in, maybe you put Chase in the bullpen to limit those innings so that you can have those bullets in the playoff. I don't know. I'm not sure how strict they're going to be on this, but yeah, I think that we all can agree that the bullpen seems to be an area where we could feel pretty good about having an upgrade. I am in no way attached to Jabot, to Taylor Rogers.
No, we need a left-handed arm coming out of the bullpen. Somebody
Yeah, or
besides Suter that could be serviceable. Because
yeah. So I would imagine that is probably my biggest need that I would say as of right now. Maybe I'm a prisoner of the moment because we just, dropped 8 runs on Dylan Cease, but it feels like, we with what we have coming back with Hayes and Marte, it feels like we can be passable with left-handed pitchers, but somebody left-handed out of the bullpen, I think could be helpful. I see. What about Sam Mole? Let me look. Last time I checked, he was not pitching very well in AAA. So having a guy that is struggling in AAA, bringing him up here and depending on him for big lefty outs is not something that I'm too. Yeah, right now he's got an 8.44 ERA in AAA. So that's not great. He has not allowed an earned run in his last 3 starts. So his ERA used to be 9.8. So that's good. But so maybe there's something velocity wise, or maybe it's come back from, injury or whatever that he's starting to dial in. But I don't trust Rogers, but I don't like 8.44 ERA in Louisville either coming up. So I would imagine, and frankly, that's probably something that you don't have to sell the farm to upgrade, right? We could probably either take on salary or trade some lower level guys to make that better. So hopefully we can see something like that, and we'd be able to upgrade that bullpen.
Absolutely. I see in the wins tab, as it said, what about Sugar? That's kind of where we're getting at, trying to test out some of these younger arms, giving Luis May and Big Sugar and those guys kind of a chance and see where we're at least give them a litany test and see what kind of arms we're working with. And then we'll have more of a solid picture of what we need to solidify stuff for the back end of the bullpen for what is hopefully a postseason run.
But I think the best thing that helps your bullpen is good starting pitching. I mean, we've really not gone on a significant run where all 5 guys are dominant in a turn. We've gotten stoppers in Andrew Abbott like he did in Cleveland. We get the significant performance from Nick Martinez tonight. I look at Nick Lodolo and his 5.5 innings per average innings per outing, and I want more. If Nick Lodolo is going to be the number 2 guy on this staff, he's got to give you more. The big, tall lefty is an asset. He was drafted to be this guy, and he's kind of performing like a mid-level guy right now. He's not, the return on investment for where you spent on him in the draft isn't there for me. I need more leadership. I need more gumption. I need that little bit of dig in and be that dude, because we're going to have to turn to him at some point in time and hand him a baseball in game 2 of a playoff series and say, go get it, kid. And I'm not sure that the fight's there. Like that's where I see Nick Lodolo right now. Everything I love, like I said, out of Andrew Abbott is what I don't enjoy about watching Nick Lodolo pitch.
Yeah. I'm giving Abbott the ball game 2 of a playoff game, by the way. I think Abbott has deserved that. But we're talking game 3. Yeah, they may even play it in matchups there. It's just like, if this team's not good against lefty, maybe we throw Lodolo. If they're not good against righties, maybe we throw
maybe he's our left-handed arm out of the pen and we start Nick Martinez the way he's throwing the ball.
Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. Now we're getting crazy.
Yeah, no doubt.
But the fun part is you've got Terry Francona, a guy that's known for doing some out-of-the-box things and doing some things that make a bullpen or make a starting rotation get the most out of it. The way he kind of, just absolutely Houdini'd that starting rotation after Bauer chops his finger off with the
16
with the droid in 16 in Cleveland, and uses Andrew
Miller,
big lefty, Andrew Miller, the big lefty out of the pen. The way that he navigated all that, like we've got the right guy at the helm in terms of how that thing goes. I love Jarek Johnson as a pitching coach. Like everything going forward, I have full faith in the system to get it right. I'm more counting on players to be the players that we drafted them to be and that we've seen flashes of. When I talk, I say I talk badly about Nick Lodolo. I don't hate Nick Lodolo by any means. I just think there's more in the tank there. And so as we talk about the depth of the lineup and things like that getting better, I think the depth of this pitching staff hasn't been realized yet either. The starting pitching rotation has an opportunity to be even better than what they've been, because we've seen better out of Nick Lodolo. We've seen better out of Hunter Green. His availability is going to be crucial to this second half of the season,
which is exciting for me as a Reds fan. I mean, here we are, and we haven't got the best out of our pitching staff yet. So we get that pitching staff rolling, just like we got this offense rolling. It's gonna be a fun second half of the season, boys. I got a real good feeling about this, but I'd love to go out tomorrow and secure this series win against the Padres. That'll make me feel a lot better about it.
Yeah, we got the chat saying, I think what haunts the Reds is injuries. I think lots of people, most teams are haunted by injuries, to be honest. We just are more laser focused in on the Reds injuries. But speaking of injuries, let's talk a little bit about Jake Fraley. Got some bad news today based on what Charlie Goldsmith said. They said it was a partial tear in the labrum. He's going to get another opinion. But I mean, this is kind of looking like if it's bad enough, this is the Matt McClain injury from last year that just basically ends his season. So it's going to be tough to see where Jake Fraley, if it is over in for this year. And I was talking with Ricky at the pregame about his contract and his, he's in his last year of arbitration next year. And it's only going to go up from his 3.1 or whatever that he's making this year. I saw some reports saying that it may even be around 5. It's like, did the Reds even hold on to him? There's a lot going on, and obviously you feel for the guy. I like him as a person, but I guess my question to you is, did we just see our last Jake Fraley, his last game as a Red? Have we seen that already?
I think we did, and it's unfortunate because everything seems to be coming up Millhouse for our dude Jake Fraley, and I'm not happy to say it, but at the same time, it's a little bit of a luxury for the Cincinnati Reds because I think you had 2 Jake Fraleys on this roster, and having him and Will Benson. Yeah. I think they're the same player. I think if you're going to platoon in right field, Will Benson is your guy and Rhys Hines is your other guy. And then Austin Hayes is your everyday left fielder and TJ Friedl is your everyday center fielder. So to me, it's all right there. And then you go find a bench spot, like just a roster construction. The idea of Fraley and Benson on the same team, I think you're getting to it the same guy.
Well, and if he's out for the season, he's not going to be potentially even back at the beginning of the season. And then we're going to be having, he's a platoon bat at best, and he's going to be having people push him from AAA and AA, right? We got Sal Stewart hit the cover off the ball. Hector Rodriguez, outfielder there as well. So it's not like everything's staying in a vacuum either, right?
Right.
They have players coming up, even Rhys Hines, we could see improvement out of him that leads us to, him taking a step forward next year. So it's really sad to say because, what he had to go through last year with his daughter and the cancer diagnosis and things like that. That's so bad. And I think the worst part about it is that it happened to him while diving making a diving catch.
Trying to make a play.
That has so defined what Jake Fraley has done. Yeah, he has lost his power, but boy, has he turned into a great defensive right fielder. And it's just so sad that this dude's putting himself on the line and it may end his career in Cincinnati. Really, putting it out there and doing everything he can to help this team win. It just makes me sad because I like this dude. And I get baseball is baseball and, it's a business after all, but man, you just feel for this guy.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're all human beings, man. You know what I mean? And it's still human, so it's hard to take the heartstrings out of it sometimes. But you do feel bad for a guy like Jake. But on the other end of it too, it'd be different if the guy was available all the time. We're talking about a guy that's constantly going through injuries and constantly not available and that sort of thing. So that's kind of working against it too. I think if we had a little bit better track record of him being on the field and being available, we might be able to go at bat for him a little bit more in arbitration. But you're going to go through arbitration for a player that might be available, you know what I mean, for out for an extended period of time, and the availability is not always there when he is healthy anyway. So I think Jake Fraley's days as a Red might be numbered, but it still hurts my heart all at the same time.
It's an interesting conundrum that puts the team in too, because you got Ryan Bellotti, who's mashed at AAA for a little bit, and you bring him over. He's like you said, he's a defensive replacement tonight. You've got Noelvi Marte coming back, and you've got a struggling Christian Encarnacion Strand. So you've got a 3-player deal there, where when Marte comes back, is it Bellotti that hits the bricks, or is it Christian Encarnacion Strand? Because your outfield then looks like you've got outfielders in Gavin Lux, you've got outfielders in Will Benson, TJ Friedel, Austin Hayes, Bellotti. Or do you put Spencer Steer back into that mix, trust him out there, keep Christian Encarnacion Strand in the infield, and let Ryan Bellotti walk? So I think that's where this thing kind of the next evolution of Jake Fraley being gone, kind of makes things interesting. But I think from a depth piece, if there was a guy to get hurt, I hate to rank injuries, and then like I said, it's tough because we are talking about human beings. Better him than TJ Friedel. Better him than Austin Hayes again. Better, you know what I mean? Like better them than a guy that we couldn't replace, if that makes sense. So I think it's an injury that, yes, it's another one, and just add it to the list of the Reds' misfortune. But it's one that I think you can absolve pretty quickly.
Yeah, the original Viking, man, he was in 2023. He was so good, and then the power just completely left him. If that is the last that we see of Jake Fraley as a Red, I still will look fondly back at his time with the Reds. I know that there was definitely some downs at the beginning of this year where he was working through stuff, but I definitely have enjoyed him and watching him play defense, watching him, get infield hits. This is one, like he hustles out balls hit in the infield, and he gets infield hits even when he's not hitting the ball square. So it's just somebody that is really easy to cheer for, really fun to root for. And if that's the last we've seen of him, I'll sure miss him. And I hope that.
Cheers to you, Jake.
That's right.
Yep, I will definitely miss him being in a Reds uniform. I'll miss that hustle. There were spots in 2023 where Jake Fraley was probably the hottest hitter on planet Earth. He's always played good defensively, always trying to hustle. Like you say, got hurt on a hustle play anyway. So
it surprised me when they said it was on a diving play and it wasn't the play that put him in the wall the other day. I thought it was the wall. When they said it was a shoulder, I'm like, yeah, he collided with the wall like it was a car wreck out there. Right. And he saved the Reds a run by taking that ball off the wall. So it's just one of those, like, I in a season where he struggled early, he came on late, and when you talk about a career in Jake Fraley of what could have been had he stayed healthy, I look back at the biggest moment that he had this year and what could have been if that Mariners game doesn't turn on its head when he hits the grand slam to, that's the biggest hit of the season if they go on to win that ball game. Like it really is. I mean, that grand slam took us from down 2 to up 2, and then the bullpen, comes in and blows one. But that is Jake Fraley in a nutshell. When he's at his best, the team isn't quite there to support it. When he's at his absolute pits, the team's, it seems to be okay. So I think it's something that we can get past.
Yeah.
But fellas, we're talking about a great night. We've won a game 8-1. We've started off this series against the San Diego Padres. Who wants to take us home with what we're expecting with what's going on tomorrow?
I can do that. Tomorrow, Saturday, 4:10 p.m. We have Andrew Abbott, our ace, our guy that's been absolutely nails. 7-1 with a 1.79 ERA. Let me say that again. 7-1 with a 1.79 ERA. That's just been nails. That's at over halfway through the season, that's not luck. And that's just good pitching. And we're facing Randy Vasquez. Randy Vasquez is 3-4 with a 3.60 ERA. So he's been pretty good. Randy Vasquez, I believe, he came over in the Juan Soto deal from the Yankees. He has a historically low strikeout percentage. I think he doesn't strike very many people out, but he gets lots of ground balls. I think he leads the league in ground into double play. I think he's averaging over 1 ground into double play a start. So like this guy gets the ball hitting on the ground. He averages in 2024 induced a league leading 1.29 ground ball double plays per 9 innings. So he's getting basically per game, he's getting at least 1 ground ball double play, which, has not been the Reds' best fan. We've been prone to a double play or two. So let's hope that we can take advantage of this and maybe hit the ball in the air a little bit, take advantage of the warm weather and get some of that. So Randy Vasquez is who we're facing. His last outing, 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. So not very much, but 2 runs may be all you need with Abbott pitching. So I'm excited to see no Red has faced Randy Vasquez. So
that's a wild stat, by the way. A dude that's been in the league for 3 years and not a single guy on this 26-man roster has faced Randy Vasquez.
Yeah, well, he's been up. He debuted in 2023, but I think he was up and down because he's with the Yankees. So he's in the American League, and we only faced them once. But yeah, he throws 6 different pitches, and he only averages 92. So seems a lot like Andre Palante, who wiped the floor with the Reds against the Cardinals. So, but then still, that was what the guy in the Yankees, Austin Winans, right? He was the same way, right? And we got a couple runs off of him. So this offense has turned into be a pretty resilient bunch. They've bounced back from getting hit in the mouth early. They've gotten off the mat when the first time through the pitcher mows them down. So I like where we're going with this offense, and I like our chances in tonight's game, especially with Abbott on the bump.
Beating Dylan Cease tonight gives me the feeling that I don't care what right-handed pitcher's on the mound, we've got a shot. We're at our best with the lineup that we put out there tonight, and I hope it's the exact same thing tomorrow. But anytime it's a right-handed pitcher and you get the opportunity to put Benson, Lux, Ellie from the left side, I love that lineup so much more than when we run into these left-handed guys. And what originally looked like a week ago, a bunch of lefties in a row, I think we're going to get lucky through this little bit of a stretch before we get to the week before the All-Star break when we see some lesser teams. But yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow. I think it's a game you need to win. You need to go out and step on a throat. I mean, you've got them on the ropes. I don't think mentally this Padres team is significant in terms like Manny Machado and the Fernando Tatis and stuff like that. They've had clubhouse turmoil for years. I would love to see this kind of start to be the slide that kind of takes them out of the wild card race if we can go out and sweep these cats.
Yeah, they're starting to spiral. They start off really hot. I think they were leading the division for a while and have really now they don't have a playoff spot, I think, after the loss today. And it's that it's can go one of two ways, right? You rally or you let it spiral and keep you out of it. And we've seen with the Reds, at least the hitting is contagious. Let's let it keep spiraling for the next couple days, and we'll it'd be great to come in and sweep the Padres here in this huge series this weekend.
Absolutely, I think you're right. An 8-1 stomping definitely didn't do anything for their confidence today. They had 1 4 or 5 coming in, but Kirby put in the dock. They were 5-12 and they're 17 before that, so they are definitely reeling. Let's keep it down, keep them down. I think it's really key for us to score the first run. When we score that first run and get up and get the momentum going, there's just no looking back from there. So let's jump on them in the first inning and never look back. Get Abbott rolling again and make it a long day for the Padres at the ballpark that we wishing they hadn't come to Cincinnati.
Well, and you've got a fan base that's not used to winning in this Reds fan base. We're not accustomed to this. We don't know how to play from ahead and things like that. So I think you need that first run to keep that energy in the ballpark. Tonight was electric. Once we got a couple of runs across the board, business picks up a little bit. The crowd gets a little louder. Standing on our feet happens a little quicker. I think Great American Ballpark's a good place when the Reds are rolling. But I think we've got to get back to figuring out how to be a winning crowd as well. So I'm excited to get down there. I'll be down again on Sunday. But I'm pumped up for tomorrow. Hopefully Andrew Abbott can go out and continue his dominance, show why he needs to be one of those guys that's selected to the All-Star team. I think tomorrow is a big spot for him to kind of take that last step before those selections are made. So, Mike, you got any final thoughts?
No, I agree. Thanks for everyone that tuned in to watch as we watched an incredible end of the game, even though we didn't get what we wanted, but we didn't get a 4-run home run game or a no-hitter, but boy, it was fun to watch tonight. So I really appreciate you guys having me on. And, it's a ton of fun watching Reds games these days. And that's not something that we could say last year at this time. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, there's not over 900 people in the stream right now if these guys are 10 games below 500. There's worse places to be. So tomorrow night's going to be a lot of fun. Corey T and I will be back as we kind of get things going. It is a 4:10 start tomorrow when we see Andrew Abbott take the bump. So excited to see what our boys can do. If you're down at the ballpark on Sunday and see this lid or I think it might be wearing the American flag one, but if you see it, give me a hey. We'd love to talk to you. This this Chatterbox Reds thing's been a lot of fun, and we love seeing you guys out and about. So please, just shout us a holler. We'd be happy to say hey and grab a beer or something. But Corey T, you want to take us home?
As always, go Reds.